Hey there, it's time for the show, the Tatiana Show, where you make friends and talk life and crypto. This episode of The Tatiana Show has been brought to you by eToro.com. You can trade in a wide range of assets, connect with the crypto community, and automatically copy top-performing portfolios at eToro.com. Quite simply, they have the top currencies, smart tools, low fees, social trading, all in one simple app. Connect with over 11 million eToro traders around the world using social feeds. eToro makes powerful trading tools easy. Get started in minutes right now at eToro.com. That's ETORO.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the special ETH Denver edition of the Tatiana Show. I'm here with Jessica Levesque, the executive director of the C4 Consortium, and also Michael Perklin, who is also the president of that organization, as well as representing Shapeshift, a great company that we've been talking to on the Tatiana Show for many years. But we haven't really talked about the Crypto Consortium, and I'm really excited to do so because as the space has evolved, we have a lot of people coming in saying that they're crypto experts, and I'm not sure that we're all working with the same level of education. So I'm really glad to have you guys here on the show, and also I thank you for your work that you've been doing.
Yes, thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks for having us on the show.
Great. So maybe you could give my audience a little bit of a background of what happened with C4. When did it get founded? What was the impetus, and what's been the evolution?
Okay.
Sure. So C4 was founded in May 2014 by Josh McDougall, Vitalik Buterin, and myself. We recognized that newspapers and magazines were misquoting people, let me correct myself. They were quoting people who were saying things that were simply untrue about Bitcoin. For example, they would quote someone saying that, Bitcoin is an anonymous currency, or Bitcoin is untraceable, and that's why hackers are using it. If any of your listeners truly understand Bitcoin, they'll know that those are patently false claims. Bitcoin is the most highly traceable asset ever because of its public blockchain. So we recognized a need for showing people, or I guess differentiating between those who actually knew and understood how Bitcoin worked versus those who were just talking about it. So the nonprofit was pulled together in 2014, and we called it the CryptoCurrency Certification Consortium, or just C4 for short, because it's quite a mouthful to say all those syllables at once.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Since we've been founded, not only did we release the Certified Bitcoin Professional Exam, which is the most highly recognized blockchain certificate on the planet, but we've also released the Cryptocurrency Security Standard, which is a framework for security professionals like myself to understand how to grade the security of a platform. And once you understand how to grade it, then you understand how to improve the security of that platform as well. These open source initiatives were sorely needed by the space, and more importantly, they were needed to be championed by a nonprofit organization and not a for-profit organization, so that the quality is always maintained without unnecessarily shilling one corporation or another.
Excellent. So what is the qualification of, a couple things, right? I would love to know about your student, but first about your teachers. There's a lot of people in the crypto space that even, Andreas Antonopoulos will say, I don't know that much about Bitcoin, because it's an ever-evolving technology. How did you choose your instructors, and how did you design your coursework?
For the blockchain training conference that we had, and our last one was in August of 2019, and we've also had one in, what was the date?
2016.
And so we had people apply to be a teacher at our conference, and we were really specific about having the label of teacher because we're an education organization. We are not here to just share, whatever it is that we would like to talk about. We really specifically,
shill our project.
Yes. So we wanted to make sure that we focused on education first, and we had teachers, not speakers. We had scholars, not attendees at the conference, and people were able to apply, and we reviewed what the subject material was, and we also met with teachers to talk about engagement strategies before the conference, which is something a little bit different. We wanted to make sure that all of our teachers, when they got on stage, they didn't just talk and lecture for the entire portion of their session. We wanted to make sure that they did something interactive, something engaging. So we had people using tamper-evident bags to show how to secure your private keys. We had people using dice to show entropy. We had many different types of engaging sessions, and so it really was focused on education. And we had courses on Bitcoin basics, which is what Andreas Antonopoulos taught. We also had courses on the Lightning Network. Renee Picard taught those. We had courses on Ethereum and Solidity. Andrew Warshaver taught that course. Cheyenne Eskandari, he taught a course as well on Ethereum. And we also had a course on Bitcoin Cash, a course on Monero, and really the purpose of it was to have unbiased education. And so anyone who wanted to learn was able to come to the conference and walk away feeling like they really got an education. And that's what the scholars told us. They felt that they left feeling really well informed and that it was fun. You know, education doesn't have to be boring. We can have a good time, so that's what we did.
And another thing that I think differentiates us over other organizations that are either trying to hold educational conferences or are trying to offer certifications in one area or another is the network of contacts that our board members have. C4's board consists of Andreas Antonopoulos, myself, Michael Perklin, Joshua McDougall, Vitalik Buterin, and Pamela Morgan. All five of these names are very well respected in this space, and we've been around since 2010. So we are in regular contact with a variety of experts in the space, not only for our own for-profit businesses, but our other initiatives as well. So when we are looking for an accountant to teach blockchain accounting, or if we're looking for a lawyer to teach blockchain law, or any of these very niche expert professions, we were able to draw on our contacts to get people from Coin Center, Peter Van Valkenburg, to get people from Consensus, Cheyenne Eskandari, and all of the people who are not only working in these areas, but they're leading their areas of practice as well. And that's why I think every one of our attendees who filled out the survey gave us top marks, and I don't think that's because of C4 necessarily, even though I really respect the staff that we worked with to put on the event, but it's all because of the teachers. These are the highest caliber teachers you can find on the planet, and to pull them all in the same room to teach these skills to the next crop of blockchain professionals is absolutely what C4 is about.
So, as far as blockchain professionals, maybe people are trying to figure out where they fit into the space. How experienced do you have to be with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchain in order to even participate in the classes?
So anyone is welcome to join. We've got basic courses and we also have more advanced courses, and so there really is a place for everyone. We had a developers track, which was obviously for people that were more advanced, and then we had a business track that was focused more on accounting and things of that nature, and the legal side as well.
As well as the beginner's track.
Mm-hmm. And then the beginner's track was our most popular track because people wanted to learn the basics and they wanted to learn enough so that they could take their CBP exam. And we certified a lot of people at the conference who left as CBPs, and we've talked to some of them who've told us that they got jobs based upon being at that conference, meeting people, and being able to share that they are CBPs and they in fact have the knowledge to back up what it is that they're saying they know about, which is really important. That is the point of the CBP, to make sure that there is some type of proof that you are aware, that you're knowledgeable, that you're credible in the space.
But what if you can't go to the class? I mean, are there online courses that people are doing? Is it just these, because I think you listed 2 different events that you guys have put together, but obviously you're certifying people otherwise. So what are the other kind of tracks that people can do if they can't come in person?
Good question. So we have all of the courses that we had at BTC 2019. They were all professionally videotaped. They're on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, you can subscribe to the C4 YouTube channel, and All of our videos are there, and we're actually really
Are they
excited.
free?
They're all
Yes.
free. They're all
Okay.
free. And we're actually doing a live premiere, 2 live premieres this coming week. On Tuesday with Paul Puey, he's going to talk about mining. And then on Saturday, Andreas Antonopoulos' Bitcoin Basics course is going to be live premiered, also on our YouTube channel. So you can subscribe to it, and Andreas and Paul will both be live with us during that time and in the chat room to answer additional questions. So that's one way that people are able to prepare, is to study with the videos. We're also really excited because we're releasing a comprehensive study guide, and the comprehensive study guide will be available online for those people who want to learn more before they take the exam, make sure they're prepared. And we have additional courses coming out as well. We're going to be doing workshops, we'll be doing another conference soon, and we'll have more resources. We want to make sure that there is a place where people feel like they can get unbiased educational information that they know is accurate, and that's what we do, that's who we are. And so going to our website and finding information kind of it definitely is a way to be sure that you're getting correct info, rather than like what Michael was saying in terms of reading something and thinking, like, is this right? Because I'm not sure.
Fake news, for the lack of better words.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also important to know that all the knowledge that the CBP exam tests, it is all free and open source knowledge. I mean, Bitcoin, of course, was built as a free and open source protocol for anyone to use. And all the types of knowledge that we cover in the CBP exam, you can learn yourself simply by looking at the topics that are covered on the exam and typing each topic name into your favorite search engine. As long as you know that topic well enough that you can explain it to your friend who didn't know it before, you will have enough knowledge to pass the CBP exam. We compare the CBP, the Certified Bitcoin Professional exam, to a driver's license. You need to know how to use the wheel safely, the pedals, and the turn indicators, but you don't need to know how the carburetor works inside or the catalytic converter. You don't even need to know what those are, let alone how they work. The CBP is very similar. Do you understand the difference between a private key and a public key? If you send Bitcoin to the wrong address, can you just call up someone to revert that transaction? These types of knowledge are what's tested on the exam. These are the types of things that people need to know in order to use Bitcoin safely in their day-to-day life.
Okay. Well, go ahead. So if I wanted to take the class, I could teach myself all the stuff at home, right? Do a little brush up, maybe check out the study guide, and then
Watch the
how
videos.
much, right? And then how much do I have to pay in order to take the test? Because I'm assuming that's like it makes sense that you guys would charge for that. So how much does that cost for someone?
Yeah, so the CBP exam costs $100 to take, and then after you've passed the exam, then there's an additional $30 application fee, which covers the printing and mailing of your certificate and the administrative work to process that.
That's super affordable.
The reason why we've separated those two out is because not everybody passes the exam on their first try, and to pay for all the printing and shipping and all that every single time you take the exam, we felt wouldn't be fair to all the applicants. So we've decoupled those as two separate fees. One is to take the exam. You may need to take it twice if you don't pass it, and then the second one is for mailing your certificate.
And some businesses are using this certification for their hiring practices. I think you said that you guys were doing that over at Shapeshift.
Yes.
Did Lisa Loud, just giving a quick shout out because she just joined the team. I'm really happy to hear that. Does everybody joining the Shapeshift team have to take the class?
No, not everybody. So one of the perks that we give to all of our foxes, all of our employees. At Shapeshift, we call all of our employees foxes. One of the perks is Shapeshift covers the CBP exam fees. So while everybody at Shapeshift is free to take the exam if they want without paying an additional charge, not every role requires it. However, our member services role does require it. Our member services specialists at Shapeshift, they interact with people who are often using Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum for the first time. They may not necessarily know the difference between a private key or a public key, and they need someone to be able to hold their hand and help them through using cryptocurrencies. So for member services, it makes sense that every member services team member needs to have a certified Bitcoin professional designation. It sets that bar of minimum requirements.
Yeah, I think so. What about people in other countries? Obviously, blockchain is an international phenomenon. Have you thought about doing the course in any other language?
So, I mean, that's something in the works. We would love to offer the courses and the exam in other languages. That's something that, as a nonprofit, we're still working towards making happen, but that would be wonderful to be able to do.
We've already spent some time translating the CBP exam into other languages, most recently French. However, because Bitcoin itself is changing regularly, the CBP exam committee is regularly updating the exam in English. And it's often hard just to keep up with Bitcoin's changes, let alone to keep up with the translations of those changes to the exam. One great initiative that we have at C4 is we're prepping a new software platform that we call CrowdQ. CrowdQ allows us to decentralize the process of making exams and translating them into other languages. There's no end of volunteers who are offering their time and efforts to help C4 on its mission of educating other people about the great word of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other blockchains, and to allow them to help us help everybody else, I think is a perfect step forward.
And with that, we're also working on other standards and other exams. So it's not just going to be Bitcoin focused, we're also working on the Certified Ethereum Professional Standards and Exam, Certified Lightning Network Professional, Certified Legal Blockchain Professional. So we're really working to create more standards with the help of the community, and then to also create more certifications so that we keep moving the industry in the right direction to make sure that we have a way to measure somebody's knowledge.
How long do you think it takes to complete the course? You know, I mean, does it take a few weeks of studying after work every night, or, you know, what does that look like?
It really depends on your level of knowledge going in. The key thing to remember is that the CBP does not test any technical knowledge. It only tests your working understanding of Bitcoin. If you are applying to take the CBP exam and you've already been using Bitcoin for the last couple of months or the last year, chances are you already have the knowledge necessary to pass the exam right now. However, if you're more cautious and you want to spend time to double check, you could watch the entire YouTube video series of the CBP crash course that was led by Andreas Antonopoulos at our last blockchain training conference. I believe it was 3 one-hour time slots. So by the time you watch all 3 of these videos, you will have not only enough knowledge to pass the CBP exam, but even more knowledge than is required.
Yeah,
Wow.
and along with that, there's also the Mining Explained. We've got one on cryptography, and so they're bundled on our YouTube, so it's easy to figure out what it is you need to learn before taking the exam.
And as far as the exam goes, the exam is made up of 75 questions that are a mix of multiple choice and true and false. These 75 questions are pulled from a much larger pool of questions, so any 2 people taking the exam at the same time, they will see very different questions in very different orders. These 75 questions need to be answered within 20 minutes. Now, looking at the statistics, on average...
it is fast, so either you know it or you don't.
Yes,
No cheating.
on average, we see that the vast majority of applicants pass the exam in 12 minutes or less. So even though there is a 20-minute time limit, most applicants don't need that full 20-minute time limit. But the reason why it is there is because you are free to use your favorite search engine to find the answers to any question as it comes up. But if you don't have that knowledge available to you right then and you're not able to answer that question and you're constantly searching for the answer, that just shows that you're not fully ready to be a certified Bitcoin professional today.
Okay, great. So this is a not-for-profit organization. How do you guys keep the doors open? And what if somebody's listening and thinking, these guys seem all right, I've got some extra Bitcoin jingling around in my pockets, and they want to donate? How does that work?
So our 2 primary revenue streams are number 1, the exam fees that we charge applicants to become certified, and number 2, the events that we organize, such as the Blockchain Training Conference series of events. Beyond that, donations are always welcome. If you go to our website and you scroll down to the very bottom of our homepage, there's a link there to get our Bitcoin address and send us Bitcoin online.
What if they want to send you filthy fiat? Will you accept those dirty dollars?
We absolutely will.
Okay.
And often we've partnered with companies who want to certify all their staff. So it's not uncommon for organizations to pay up front for 30 examinations, 100 examinations, and they pay us with dirty fiat. We're happy to work with you and your organization with any type of donation you want to make. Simply send us an email to info@cryptoconsortium.org. That email address is also at the bottom of our webpage.
Awesome. Okay, so any final words for our audience? Actually, I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. What about if you are a business that wants to accept crypto? I think that there's some challenges that are inherent in that. I mean, just your bookkeeping alone is going to become a little bit of a nightmare. Have you thought of making a course for people, for businesses that want to get involved in cryptocurrency but don't want to become a certified blockchain professional? They just want to get a preliminary understanding before taking the plunge and accepting cryptos.
That's precisely the reason why we have the blockchain training conferences. Anybody who needs to do blockchain accounting needs to understand that. So we have accounting professionals who are there leading the sessions and teaching all audience members how to do blockchain accounting in real time. These types of events are the best way to get that knowledge you need to run your business. Every business needs a lawyer, every business needs an accountant, every business needs some kind of a developer, even as simple as a website developer, if not more customized programming. By training all of these professions at the Blockchain Training Conference, we are creating the next crop of blockchain professionals so that when all of our blockchain companies need to find a lawyer who understands blockchains, an accountant who knows how to do blockchain accounting, we have a giant pool from which to draw.
Excellent. When is your next event?
We're happy to announce that soon, but not just yet. Follow us on Twitter or sign up for our newsletter at cryptoconsortium.org, and you'll be the first to know.
Okay, I'm going to ask for a preview of the location. Are you going to do it in Denver again, or how did you choose Denver for the last one? You know, how do you choose what area needs to be served more?
So. C4 is an international organization. We want to make sure that all the certifications and all the training that we give is not specific to any one region. The first one was held in Toronto, Canada. The second one was held in America. And by focusing each training in a different location, we're able to reach different regional audiences. We're not ready to announce the next location at this time. But again, if you follow us on our Twitter feed or sign up for a newsletter on cryptoconsortium.org, you will be the first to know.
Okay, I mean, I tried, guys. Thanks very much for joining me on the show. This has been great.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having us.
Cool, thanks.
What's the point of all this technology without a little love in our lives? Our hosts, Tatiana Moroz, Dr. Stephanie Murphy, and Lauren Kasovitz, have come together to bring you Proof of Love. Go to proofoflovecast.com.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this special edition of the Tatiana Show, brought to you in ETH Denver. Thank you very much to our sponsor, eToro. They love the Tatiana Show, and we love them right back, so make sure you go to their website, check out their trading options. I'm here with James Waugh. He is the Community Experience Manager at Enigma, and we're here at the ETH Denver conference, and he's here representing that brand. But, in fact, he is a crypto art enthusiast, which I have to admit is, close to my personal things that I'm interested in. And he hosts the Rare Art Festival, which was in Perklin last year. I think it's actually going to be the third year running this upcoming year. So thanks so much, James, for joining us today, and welcome to the Tatiana Show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about the art festival, and then we'll talk a little bit about Enigma.
Sure. The OG Rare Art Festival was in January of 2018, and I was just an attendee. And it came together as a result of collaboration between Joe Looney, who's the creator of the Rare Pepe wallet, and a variety of projects building crypto art platforms on Ethereum, like Rare Art Labs, Dada. I know Super Rare was involved with their project, and many things have sprung from that initial experience. It was one of the coolest conferences I had ever attended, and it was one of my first times meeting people in the crypto space, and I was blown away by how welcoming and kind-hearted everyone seemed to be, and really made long-lasting friendships that started right there at the first Rare Art Festival. So when we heard the second one hadn't been planned yet, I decided to start a Telegram group and coordinate some folks who are interested in making it happen. And I'm really proud that we managed to organize Rare AF2 with zero budget and support from all kinds of sponsors and collaborators who didn't give money but were able to show up and feature what they're creating. And we had speakers, we had a full art show, and we had a create-a-thon. So it was a kind of friendly competition alongside the ETH New York hackathon. It was less technical and more focused on self-expression or general collaboration. But yeah, I ramble on and on. I love crypto art. We're looking forward to planning the third Rare Art Festival this year, and hoping to maintain that ethos of decentralization and philosophically upholding the values of Rare AF. I'm all about learning together and kind of moving past some of the misconceptions while discovering new opportunities, because you have to stay flexible in this space. You have to always pay attention and never stop learning.
So let me ask you, how many people are in the art crypto space? We've seen a lot of growth over the past couple of years, but it's still obviously very niche. How many prominent crypto artists are there? And then how many collectors are there, right? Because if you only have, let's say, 50 art collectors, it makes it a little bit harder. So what does that look like?
Yeah, it's definitely a tight-knit family is how I think about it.
Okay,
and
I like that.
It's growing, but it's more about the quality of relationships rather than the quantity. And I'd say we're still in the hundreds range for number of collectors. The number of artists seems to be greater than the number of collectors, in my opinion, although I don't really have the data. I don't know off the top of my head.
Has anyone ever done that data set?
I'm sure they have. It's more available than regular gallery might have their own data in some database locked up.
That's a good point. People actually know how that art is traveling around. So are most of the people using only Ethereum, or are you seeing any kind of other use cases using other blockchains?
Well, the original project that inspired the Rare Art Festival is the Rare Pepe.
Counterparty, right?
Yeah,
those are my peeps. Tatiana coin, Counterparty, what's up?
Yeah, so I'd say it definitely started there. And we've always tried to be as welcoming to every project as possible. And we're not partial to any specific blockchain. And we've always supported the multi-chain future and looking forward to more interoperability and collaboration between different ecosystems, and the tribalism is gradually dissolving. And I think the Rare Art Festival helps with the rivalry between the Ethereum-based crypto art projects and some of the counterparty projects and other blockchains. There's crypto art on EOS, and pretty much all blockchains end up having creators get interested if they're a legitimate blockchain.
But some people would say that Counterparty is dead. I mean, you are citing examples of people using it right now. How do you resolve that? Because it seems like Counterparty lost its advantage because they weren't really focused on marketing at all. And then the main founders, they went off and did other projects, so that didn't help. And, when I was using Tatiana coin at the height of the Bitcoin market, the fee was higher than the value of the Tatiana coin because I'm a counterparty token, so it's basically cost preclusive if my counterparty tokens were 5 cents and the Bitcoin transaction fee is much higher. So how is that a concern for artists? Can we get more people building on Counterparty to solve this problem, or do you think that my perception of that is out of date? Do you know of kind of other use cases for Counterparty at this time? And is anybody else concerned about some of the things that I just mentioned?
So I think it's a product of its time. Like, it was really ahead of its time in some ways.
Yeah, very much so.
And it's definitely alive. It's certainly not dead. It's hard to kill things that live on Bitcoin. But I agree. I think the distinction between the token XCP and the counterparty platform is necessary to delve into, maybe, because lots of crypto art projects on Ethereum don't have their own native currency. They're just focused on creating or facilitating the creation of non-fungible tokens rather than fungible assets that represent ownership or some kind of control of the network. And yeah, I think you still got Bitcoin as a counterparty project, I know.
Yeah, Bitcoin does well. My friend Sasha Hodder, she's really into Bitcoin. And I know that Skrilla is doing counterparty stuff, so I'm happy to see him doing that. Like, I want counterparty to do well.
Yeah, I think
But what are
evolving.
we doing about, what do we do if the transaction fees are too high? Like, who's actually building the tech part? I'm glad that the creators are using, but that tech is eventually going to be a little bit out of date. So how do we lure those people in?
So I don't know the team. I know that some guy named J-Dog is the original founder of Counterparty, and he's a very capable developer and just entrepreneur. And there's a community built around his project that is very loyal. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to grow and evolve, but I do think it will take some realizations that are unclear. It's about governance to me. I think you have fees, that's a big problem. However, I think the unnecessary token holds back the project in general, just because it's never precisely correlated with the actual success of Counterparty. It's driven by speculation often, not people who are interested in supporting crypto art, but rather people who are interested in their own benefit and not really understanding the product itself. So yeah, there's a lot of challenges with having a token. So you definitely want to open your mind to a new paradigm of crypto art project that doesn't rely on a native currency and really integrates with real world art. Not to say that crypto art isn't real, but it's definitely imaginary in some cases. We like to pretend that a big sale isn't just a reflection of some tight-knit community that's trying to support itself rather than large-scale art market. It's more about the relationships between the collector and the artist rather than the
monetary value assigned to the piece of art.
Exactly. I think there's definitely monetary value associated with those kind of transactions, but you see collectors really wanting to support artists they know and build relationships with. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a form of reputation to support a quality creator that you love and hope to see grow and develop and continue making cool stuff.
What's the biggest win for the art and crypto market right now, would you say? Is there any kind of specific artist that's really big time that is getting involved with this that might be leading the way? Or would you say that it's still a grassroots approach with, a lot of room for additional talent? But, is there some kind of Sotheby's partnership or, are any of these larger, even not just artists, but institutions looking into blockchain art for provenance and other uses?
I don't know. I'll take a different direction with that question, because my answer is crypto voxels is the coolest thing happening right now. It's
what
the biggest
is that?
win. So it's a virtual reality experience which facilitates the sale of crypto art and other non-fungible tokens, and it's like Minecraft but with a digitally scarce parcel model for sales. You can buy a 3D plot of space in this virtual reality city, mm-hmm. And use that parcel to display your artwork and actually make sales.
Is that like digitable?
Yes.
You know, Steve Wand, he's got that thing. I think that's what it's called, digitable.
I'm not familiar with digitable.
But basically, people are like building these kind of virtual worlds, and you can do stuff and use your tokens there because they're representative of different utility or like a sword or something or an outfit. And
yeah, it's really flexible, and it's had a major impact on the community, unifying, coming together, and exploring this world that connects disparate locations. And I think that was one of our biggest challenges organizing Rare Art Festival, is there's so many artists around the world who wanted to contribute. They sent art to be shown, but they couldn't make it for the actual event. And we tried live streaming, and we really wanted to expand it and invite participation from anyone around the world. But I think a virtual reality experience enables a greater level of participation and more of a feeling of being there rather than just watching a video or seeing pictures or reading tweets or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good opportunity for the festival, but the reason I brought it up is I think it's really brought the crypto art community together, and it shows another use case for non-fungible tokens, which is creative. It's a form of art to design your parcel and construct a gallery, or maybe it's a mini golf course. There's all kinds of crazy buildings in the crypto voxels in the metaverse, and there's other projects like that. I just find that crypto voxels being interoperable with the NFT space is a catalyst for all kinds of cool, interesting collaborations happening.
Cool. So when is the next Rare Fest?
It is tentatively scheduled for May 14th.
So during Consensus in New York?
Yeah, it's the Thursday after Consensus is the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of NYC Blockchain Week.
Okay.
And it's going to be a month-long show leading up to the main event on that Thursday, the 14th. And we're going to have a few other events in that process, kind of like building up the momentum until we bring in the speakers, and we'll have the Create-a-thon, and it'll be a focal point, on that Thursday after Consensus. But it'll be open. The gallery will be open to anyone who stops by during the week and the few weeks before then, which I'm really excited about. We only had one day last year, and now we get an opportunity to show the work being done around the world for a longer amount of time. It's going to be in Manhattan this year. So
good. Thank God I don't have to go to Brooklyn. Now I'm in. That's how you win me over.
Oh, well, we love Brooklyn. It's going to be nice to have more foot
traffic.
traffic.
Jersey people don't like Brooklyn. It's very hard. I want to bring Manhattan back into style. Everything goes out to Brooklyn now.
It's probably time for a correction. I agree. It's a bubble out there. But that's my home borough.
Really? You grew up in Brooklyn? My
I
father's
didn't grow
from
up there.
Brooklyn.
No, I just lived there. I've been in New York 3.5 years, and I love Brooklyn. Lived in the same part of Brooklyn the whole time. And
what part is that?
In Crown Heights.
Okay, I don't know that part.
Yeah, it's near
I know the
Prospect
Polish
Park.
neighborhood, Greenpoint. That's where my people are.
All right.
Tell me about your Enignma company that you just started with. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing here at the ETH Denver conference.
Sure. So it's definitely less relevant to the crypto art discussion, but relevant for blockchain adoption and usability. We're focused on privacy solutions for public blockchains, and we've got a network that enables private computation. So it's using encrypted information, not just proving something with it or obfuscating the inputs or outputs. It's more about actual usage or general computation rather than just transactional privacy.
Okay, cool. So is this like exclusively Ethereum endeavor, or how do you guys, are you guys doing any presentations here?
We did a workshop yesterday, and it was targeted at hackers getting started. We deployed our testnet in December, and we're moving quickly toward mainnet, and everything is available for anyone who's interested on our website, enigma.co.
It's a good name. I like that.
Yeah, and we're, one of the projects that is positioned to, provide solutions in the short term, but also think long term. So I'm really excited to be part of the team. I've learned a ton since joining, and we're excited to support all kinds of projects, including crypto art. And my teammates have been really supportive in my interests, helping coordinate the Rare Art Festival this year. So that's really appreciated.
Yeah, I agree. So shout out to Enigma. Thanks for supporting crypto art. One more time, where can people find you and find out about the event?
I'm on Twitter and Telegram and everywhere I can be. I'm trying to...
But what's your name on there? I'm
My
glad
name?
that you're on there, but they don't know your location.
You can just type in James Waugh, and my handle is at JWAUP, JWAUP, on both Twitter and Telegram. And Enigma, I mentioned the website. We've got a bunch of stuff on our blog, and you can join our Discord and developer forum. But yeah, like I said, if you're interested in the Rare Art Festival, let us know, because it's a decentralized organization. It's really focused on experimenting with this new paradigm and bringing projects together for unique collaboration that wouldn't happen in a competitive landscape. It's about this family and really learning from each other and driving progress together.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, James. We'll see you in New York City.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
This was fun.
Hey there, it's time for the show, the Tatiana Show, where you make friends and talk life and crypto. We gotta think and reflect and use lots of intellect with our hearts when we work together. I know that it can be so hard out there, looking all around and saying that life ain't fair. So that is why we will fight and stay up late at night, listening to the Tatiana Show. The Tatiana Show has been brought to you by CryptoMediaHub.com, a boutique marketing and PR agency for Bitcoin and beyond. Thank you for listening to The Tatiana Show. Please follow us on Twitter at Queen Tatiana or on Facebook and Instagram at Tatiana Moroz Music. More episodes can be found at thetatianashow.com, and make sure you leave a review on iTunes and tell your friends. You are listening to The Tatiana Show. This show may contain adult content, language, and humor and is intended for mature audiences. If that's not you, please stop listening. Nothing you hear on The Tatiana Show is intended as financial advice, legal advice, or really anything other than entertainment. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Oh, and if you're listening to us on an affiliate network, the ideas and views expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the network that you're listening on or of any sponsors or any affiliate products you may hear about on this show. Now that that's squared away, let's start the show.